here we are, our day one, week one of 28 days. So the first thing that we're going to do on day one is actually a quick review of the 5-foot positions from the free mini course. And again, just a reminder, if you haven't checked that out, it would be really useful for you to do that now. But as we get going, I'm just going to also just give you a little bit of idea of the structure of this lesson and the lessons as we proceed. And first, anytime where I'm facing you, it's going to be like looking in a mirror. So if I move an arm or a foot out in that direction, you are going to follow me, and that would be to your right. And again, if I move a foot or move in this direction or speak of something in this direction, you would follow me just like you were looking in a mirror. And then the next thing though is that I will be turning my back sometimes to do some of the techniques, and especially now for the 5-foot positions. And as I turn my back, you're going to follow along exactly doing what I'm doing. So we'll do it both ways, and some people find it easier to watch straight on. Most people find it easier to follow along from the other direction. So I'll be doing both for you. So here we go, reviewing the 5-foot positions. So just a reminder that the 5-foot positions, every single dance and every dance step, every dance pattern that you do is some kind of form of these 5-foot positions. So they are incorporated into really every movement. So we're going to go ahead and review those and just some basic ideas that I'm going to add on to. Starting with the 5-foot positions, I'll do them all facing you first, and then I'll turn around and do them all with my back to you. So again, you can follow along exactly. So here we are, just a quick review. Foot position number 1 is with our feet closed together. Foot position number 2 is with our feet side by side or apart. Foot position number 3 is the heel of one foot to the instep of the other. And right now I'm touching the heel to the instep, but I can also take it further away into what we call an extended third position, or even way further away if I wanted to. And again, the same thing goes for either foot. Foot position number 4 is a forward or back walking step. So you can walk forward towards me. I'll go forward towards you. And then we can both walk backwards. Okay, so forward or back walking steps is number 4. Number 5 is the toe of one foot to the heel of the other with the feet turned out or rotated out. So heel of one foot, the toe to the other. I did mention that this can be, again, extended away or all the way touching. And the 5th position can also be achieved by stepping forward and across too. So I can step forward, and now I'm still in that toe to heel position. So that works also. So those are the 5-foot positions. I'll go ahead and turn around and do those with my back to you, and then we'll come back with a little bit more detail about those positions. So here we go. Foot position number 1, feet together. Foot position number 2, feet apart. Foot position number 3, heel of one foot into the instep of the other. Extended or touching either foot. 3rd position. Foot position number 4 is the walking forward or back. So we'll just go ahead and take a few steps forward. Hope you're doing this with me. Few steps backwards. Okay, and then lastly, 5th position is the toe of one foot to the heel of the other. And you can see that the feet are rotated out away. It can be touching or extended. It can be on either side, this position. It can also be achieved stepping forward and across for that toe to heel position, also with either foot. In the free mini course, we actually did some combinations of putting some of those together in some basic ways. We'll be using some of those combinations as we move further into this program also. So a couple of things that I do want to share with you that I didn't talk about in the mini course, or I'd like to give you a little bit more information about, is pointing your toes. So when and I'll step back again so you can clearly see my feet. When I point my toe, I'm going to go ahead and just point to one side or point to the other. So pointing the toe, and now I'll go ahead and turn sideways so that you can see, is lifting the heel off the floor. So as I lift the heel off the floor, it creates a point or a point downward with the toes all the way to the floor. Also, I consider that as I point, I kind of push up with the arch of the foot. So I'm pushing up into it so that I get a nice line with the toe instead of it maybe just being flat. So pointing anytime when my foot is to the side or forward or back with no weight, it's pointing. And the more I can lift the heel up and push up into the arch of the foot, the more it articulates the foot line and the leg line, and it continues the line all the way down to the tip of the toes, instead of like a broken line where it's not. And again, remembering that dancing is, we're moving, we're in an art form, we're moving artists. And so we want to make our lines very beautiful and artistic. So having that line, and I'm just going to show you that if I extend my arm up, do you see the line that it makes all the way down from the tip of my fingers down to the tip of the toes? I'm just going to try that in the other direction. So that's a line, and you can see that we can use our bodies, our feet and our legs and our bodies and our arms to create these beautiful lines. And then we can use our hoops to actually extend that line even more. So on lesson or day number 3, we're going to be going more into arm styling. But for right now, we're talking about that pointing action, lifting of the heel. When we point, we can also drop the knee or drape the knee down and across, and that actually starts movement with the body. And in lesson number 5, we're going to talk about hip action and what we call Cuban motion, of how using our legs to make our hips move, again, to give us freer action and freer movement in our body. So we talked about the pointing, and now we're going to talk about standing leg and moving leg. So whatever leg is holding most of my weight is called the standing leg. So in this case, it's my left leg. It would be your right if you're doing a mirror image. It's holding all my weight. So that is going to be my standing leg. So if you hear me use that term, you know what that means. Standing leg is the one that holds most of my weight. Moving leg is the one that I'm moving onto or getting ready to take my weight into. So I have the standing leg and then the moving leg, okay? And so that's how we change our weight from one foot from the other. We're going from our standing leg and we go into the moving leg. So then also pointing and touching and tapping are all very similar, because if I touch or tap in any different direction without any weight, then I can say I'm pointing my foot, but I'm also touching it to the floor or tapping it on the floor, all those terms are pretty much interchangeable. So tap and touch. Point definitely means that the heel is lifted and stretched up into the arch of the foot. Then one more term I wanted to mention too is a press line. And I talked about this in the mini course also, but a press line is where I'm taking probably a little bit more of my weight into the other non-standing foot. So right now, if this is my standing foot, if you're looking in the mirror, it would be your right foot. And this is my moving foot. A press line presses some of my weight into the moving foot, but not all. So if I wanted to take a step, I would use that moving foot again to take my next step. So there's lots of nice ways to use press lines as we're standing in one spot. We can press some weight, gives it a little bit more dynamic look than just tapping it. So if I touched or tapped or pointed or pressed some weight into that foot, and when I do the press line, I still have the heel lifted from the moving foot, as instead of just having it flat on the floor. You can see that lifting that heel gives me a different line or look to my movement. So those are just some terms that I wanted to share with you that we did not cover necessarily in the free mini course, but are really important to know when we're adding variety, different ideas into our dance movement. And we'll be talking about those as we progress along too. So thank you for joining, and here we are. That was class number 1, lesson number 1, week 1, and mostly it was a review of that mini course. Okay, so here we go. Next time I'm going to add a little bit more even about footwork because, as I mentioned, footwork is the foundation and is the most important part of being a good dancer, because we need to be balanced, and everything that happens needs to be, just like the houses that are built, needs to be on a good foundation. Your dancing needs to be on a good foundation of good, solid footwork and balanced movement. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next lesson.